Die-hard surfers are a unique breed. They're willing to travel to the ends of the earth to find the perfect waves.
It's a passion of mine. It has been. I've started when I was 5 years old and I haven't stopped. It's a great sport.
Part of the whole allure of going to Mexico is going out in the middle of the nowhere and finding these desolate surf spots that you're out surfing by yourself and with your friends.
On this early morning, 3 determined Southern California surfers are headed to a remote beach on Mexico's Pacific coast.
We were headed to San Carlos, Mexico, down in Baja, and it's a world-class spot. We were heading down there for a camping trip.
It's an amazing location, known for its friendly locals that cater to the elite surfers who make it down there.
We were pretty excited. It was Labor Day weekend, so we had an extra day off, and there was a big swell coming.
Walt, Roger, and Dave are all geared up for an action-packed holiday weekend. Dave and Roger are in one truck, and Walt follows in a second. The men expect to spend 5 days doing nothing but sampling the local cuisine and surfing.
We were really jazzed to go.
But then, just outside Tijuana, about 25 miles south of the border into Mexico,
someone behind us.
I see these blue lights behind us, like a cop light. Dave says, oh, we're being pulled over.
I thought they were getting pulled over by the federales. So I pulled over as well to make sure that they were okay. I didn't want to abandon them.
The men are not overly concerned. Each of them has made dozens of surf trips into Mexico, and they know the drill.
Yeah, let's pull it over.
The thing is, when you get pulled over in Mexico, they write you up a ticket, and typically you could pay that ticket to the place to give to the judge. Depending on how much money you have in your pocket will often dictate how much that ticket is.
I got $40.
Okay.
So you don't want to have too much in your pocket, and you don't want to have too little. They're looking for tourists.
Do I wait till he comes up?
Yes.
And there's little doubt that Roger, Dave, and Walt aren't from around here. Both their trucks are packed with gear and supplies to carry them through the long holiday weekend.
We literally bring thousands of dollars worth of toys with us.
Hello, where are you going?
Hi, officer. We're going surfing up the beach.
What's this for?
Salte del carro. Despacito. Open the door. Salte del carro. Traición, abra la puerta.
What do you want? What's going
Salte
on?
del carro. Vete. Piso. Okay, shut up.
Te voy a matar aquí si no me dices de dónde viene ni qué tienes contigo.
I don't know what you want.
Walt is parked a short distance behind them. He can't believe what's happening to his friends. Now, it's his turn.
I had a gun coming at me from the driver's side and the passenger side. Thought I was getting kidnapped. And I felt him cock the gun, and that's when I thought,
Te vas a morir esta noche, cabrón.
I thought I was dead.
Over near Dave and Roger's truck, the situation is just as ominous.
They had us surrounded. Every guy there had a pistol drawn.
Strangely, the only man masking his identity is the man holding Roger.
Calmado. Espera, tengo.
Roger tries to reason with him by offering up all his cash.
Tengo dinero, ¿ves?
And it basically hits him in the chest and then falls on the ground, and it's probably a couple $100. And he looks at me and he kind of grins, and there's probably $80 left still on the ground. He doesn't care.
The situation looks dire for all 3 friends. But for some reason, Roger's assailant is intent on separating him from the other 2.
I pleaded with him, leave me alone, you've got all my money. I'm starting to wonder, why is he walking me out here? What is he thinking? Is he going to shoot me?
With all 3 surfers now split apart, it appears that Roger is about to be summarily executed.
I saw Roger on his knees on the edge of the cliff. I thought, we're dead.
surfers on their way to Baja, Mexico for a camping trip have just been assaulted by a gang of violent thieves. Dave and Walt are being held at gunpoint. But Roger has been separated, and it appears that he is about to be executed.
I saw Roger on his knees on the edge of the cliff. I thought, we're dead. I wasn't going to sit there and get shot in the back of the head without doing anything. I started running in zigzags towards the cliff in case he was going to shoot me.
Walt runs like his life depends on it. Roger makes a break for it himself.
I look up at him, and he takes his gun, and he cocks it. I tensed up, and I was so frozen. I just shot it above my head. He was just playing with me. And then I see him turn around and just start jogging away. He probably shot another 6 rounds off.
Both Roger and Walt remain crouched in the ravine, terrified.
Allí quédate! No te muevas!
And I didn't move, and Roger didn't move.
Not until they hear a familiar voice.
Guys!
Dave comes to the edge of the cliff and tells them the coast is clear.
And he said, you guys are okay. They're gone. Come on up.
But the gunmen aren't all that's gone.
We're all right, okay? We're all right.
But we got nothing.
Everything was gone other than what we were wearing. Our trucks were gone. And with all of our camping equipment, all of our money, all of our gear, everything.
Most travelers to Mexico vacation without a problem. These guys aren't so lucky. Nothing on their previous surfing trips could have prepared them for this. Although their nerves are shattered, they feel fortunate to have come through the carjacking alive. Their main objective right now is to find a way back to the border and make it home to the United States.
I wasn't really that concerned about my belongings at that point. I just wanted to get out of Mexico.
But that won't be easy to do without cash or IDs. Then, Roger notices something on the other side of the highway.
Just a little ways down the road, there's this van parked.
Let's get out there, man.
So I immediately start waving at him.
Run to it.
I was speaking to him in Spanish saying, hey, help us, we've been robbed.
Unos hombres nos han robado y llevaron nuestros carros y todo.
And then he says, yeah, I know, we saw.
¿Están bien? Ya, pero puedes llevarnos todo.
Nosotros vimos todo lo que estaba pasando.
¿Sí?
Sí.
This seems strange. They can't help but wonder if the man is a kind stranger or somehow involved. But with no other immediate options, Roger is not willing to let this chance go by.
¿Puedes llevarnos a la policía?
Vi todo lo que estaba pasando. Yo
Gracias.
los puedo llevar, yo los llevo.
Okay, gracias. Okay, they'll take us to police, okay?
They have been traumatized by the attack and aren't sure who they can trust.
Are you sure you want to get in with
Look,
these guys?
those guys know where they left us, okay? And it's 25 miles to Tijuana.
I didn't want to get into the van, and I was going to walk.
In the heat.
Roger didn't want me walking on my own, so convinced me to get into the van.
Trust me.
As soon as we're in the van, there's somebody in the passenger seat that we hadn't seen before, and he just slams the door shut.
This younger man is about the same age as the gunman who just attacked them, which doesn't sit well with Walt.
Because he could have been part of what just happened. I was thinking that we just made a big mistake.
Though also suspicious, Roger is determined to convince the driver to take them where they need to go.
I start conversing with this guy. He says, we're going to the border. And I said, okay, bring us to the border.
Then, as they reach the edge of Tijuana, one of the surfers spots a policeman who's writing a ticket.
Hey, stop! Párate, alto, aquí. ¿Qué pasó?
And I start to talk to the cop. He's saying, hey, we were robbed.
Unos hombres nos asaltaron en la carretera.
5-6 guys.
Pistolas estaban apuntándonos a nuestras cabezas.
We want to file a report.
Espera un momento, por favor.
The police officer places a call on his cell phone.
So I'm kind of thinking, all right, he's putting out the APB that the cars were stolen.
Just stay cool. Okay.
I didn't understand what he was saying. It was very odd to me.
Whoever he's talking to, he does not seem to be calling in a police report.
Just chill. Just be nice. Just
Even though the carjacking happened just a few miles away, the cop has some disappointing news.
Amigos.
Yes.
The police officer told us that where that had happened was out of his jurisdiction.
Can you hook us up with somebody that can possibly help
Podemos
us?
llevarnos a la frontera.
But there is one bright spot on this traumatic morning.
Guys, I got my ATM card.
Tiene un tarjeta de ATM.
See? Taxi. You can get a taxi.
Sígame.
He wants us to follow him.
He told us to climb into the back of the pickup truck and he would drive us down into Tijuana where there's an ATM. We can get cash to get a ride back to the border and we can make a report with the police department there.
The ATM machine they're driven to isn't in the nicest section of Tijuana.
Amigos. Cash.
They pulled over in front of this bar and there was people out front still partying.
Like the red light district.
But their suspicions have been raised.
There's something going on with this cop. He's still talking on his cell phone, and at that point, it just kind of clicked. Why is this guy talking on his cell phone, and why isn't he talking on his CB radio? Why did he drop us off here? He didn't bring us to the police station. He dropped us off in the seedy area. This isn't good. We need to get away from this guy.
Hey, oye, taxi. Vamos a la frontera. Vente, ¿está bien?
They tell the driver not to stop for anybody and to head straight for the border.
Por la frontera. Vamos.
In the cab, I felt relieved.
We're getting back to the border now. We're safe. We're gonna make it.
Pagamos cuando llegamos a la frontera. Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Roger, Dave, and Walt have been dropped off in the seedy part of Tijuana so they can get cash to hail a cab. Finally, they think they are on their way to the safety of the border.
Vamos, vamos, vamos.
Roger just started telling her to drive, drive, don't stop.
We all looked. They had their guns up in the air. Immediately, you're on the kind of the main fairway to the border crossing. They just let us go.
After their second brush with death of the morning, the surfers are lucky to find a Border Patrol agent who believes their story and helps them cross into the U.S. without any IDs.
There was a huge sigh of relief when we got back across the border. We were happy to be home.
But the three Americans can't believe what happened. How they became targets of 2 carjacking attempts in less than 90 minutes.
This can't be a coincidence. You know, our luck isn't that bad.
To them, the key to unlocking a connection lies in what happened during the second attack.
They were not the exact same guys, but these were part of the same crew, and they were coming back for us. And now they were coming to kidnap us.
Walt, Roger, and Dave suspect the armed men came back intending to force them to withdraw cash with Dave's newly discovered ATM card. And just how did the armed robbers know about the card and how to find them? They have come to believe the cop they went to for help may have been involved, and that he was keeping the armed men informed with his cell phone. The surfers also suspect that the masked man who terrorized Roger was also a cop. And that's why he was the only one to hide his identity.
It was real clear that they owned the city.
Dave, Roger, and Walter would later return to Mexico and make a police report. But the men who robbed them have not been caught.
We loved going down there for years, and we had a lot of friends down there. We'd always felt safe, but at that point in time,